Every time Gary Cooper stands next to a person, I'm reminded how tall he is. Hey everyone, Henrietto here, welcome back. Today we are going to watch High Noon, directed by Fred Zinnemann, starring Gary Cooper, Thomas Mitchell, Lloyd Bridges, Katie Jurado, and others. Now this movie actually won the Best Actor, which was won by Gary Cooper. Katie Jurado also won the Best Supporting Actress. Fred Zinnemann got the Best Director, and this movie also won the Best Film in the New York Film Critics Circle Awards. High Noon will be my introduction movie into the Western genre because I don't think I've watched a lot of Western genres movies before. I mean, if you count Blazing Saddles, then yeah, maybe that counts as a Western genre. But other than that, this would be the movie that introduces me into the Western genre. So I'll maybe get to know some of the cliches and, you know, the things that the Western genres usually have. One other thing is regarding my microphone. So I'd like to apologize for my previous movie reaction, which is A Beautiful Mind. I think the audio quality was pretty bad, you know, for the movie because I was still, you know, finding out the errors, troubleshooting, like what was the problem with the microphone. So after recording that movie, I actually found out what the problem was. And now my sound or my voice, you know, the vocals, the audio should sound much better compared to the previous movie reaction. So sorry for that. All right, that should be it for now. So let's get into High Noon. High Noon. Now you know that horse is real, not like a mechanical horse masked with CGI. He got off the horse fast, just like a person gets off a bike while the bike is still moving. Ballad High Noon by Dmitri Yomkin. Shoot Frank Miller dead? Is that an important plot point? What's with the expression? Are they criminals? These three people?
Did you see what I saw? Come on, Joe, open her up. We're gonna have a big day today. You in a hurry?
Yeah, I sure am. You're a fool. Come on. Will the bride and groom kindly step forward?
Huh, I thought they'd do this in a church. Is this a church?
Thought I saw Ben Miller.
Oh, he's down Texas somewhere.
I know. Looked like Pearson Colby, too.
Noon train on time? Yes, sir. How are you, Mr. Miller? Mr. Pierce? Mr. Colby?
Okay, I get the feeling they're here to rob the train.
I pronounce you man and wife.
Congratulations. He ran all the way here. Clearly he has stamina.
I'm gonna try, Amy. I'll do my best.
I will too.
Marshal, turn in your badge.
I kind of hate to do this without your new marshal being here.
We're also your very good friends. This town will be safe till tomorrow.
Oh, I wouldn't say that. Might have spoken too soon.
Not till you kiss me.
Honestly, their age is pretty far apart, it looks like.
Marshal, telegram for you.
Beg pardon, Frank Miller.
What is it,
I don't
Miller?
believe it.
Ben Miller is down for depot now with Jim Pierce and Jack Colby.
So they're trying
He asked
to...
about the noon train.
Well, get out of this town this very minute. Come on,
What
let's
is
get
it?
him going.
Okay, I think Frank Miller is Will's enemy.
Well, I'm away! Hurry!
So those three people are going to meet up with Frank Miller, and then they're probably coming to target Will Kane.
Kane and his new wife just took off in a big hurry. You don't suppose Kane's scared of those three gunnies?
Ben Miller is in town. He has two of the old bunch with him.
I guess I'll take a look around.
So what, there's the sheriff and the marshal. Who's the higher rank? I'll have to check that out later.
Why are you stopping?
It's no good. I've got to go back, Amy.
Why?
They're making me run. I've never run from anybody before.
Don't go back, Will.
I've got to. That's the whole thing.
Oh yeah, you gotta make a huge turn to turn a horse cart around.
Kane. How many coffins we got?
We're gonna need at least 2 more no matter how you figure. You better get busy, Fred.
What? He's a barber and a mortician at the same time?
He was supposed to hang, but up north they commuted it to life. Now he's free.
Ah, I knew it. It is revenge.
They've got a new marshal.
Won't be here till tomorrow. Seems to me I've got to stay.
We ought to go.
They'll just come after us. We'd be all alone on the prairie.
Don't try to be a hero. You don't have to be a hero. Not for me.
I'll swear in a bunch of special deputies, and with a posse behind me, maybe there won't even be any trouble.
It's kill or be killed.
I know it's against your religion, though.
But you're doing it just the same.
War is declared. What war is this? What year is this?
You're asking me to wait an hour to find out if I'm going to be a wife or a witch. If you won't go with me now, I'll be on that train when it leaves here.
I've got to stay.
It's a tough choice to choose between his wife and protecting the town.
You shouldn't have come back, Will.
Stupid. I figured I had to. I figured I had to stay.
5th century BC, the citizens of Athens suffered grievously under a tyrant managed to banish him. When he returned some years later, those same citizens opened the gates for him, stood by while he executed members of the legal government.
Why?
Similar thing happened about 8 years ago. I escaped dead, the cost of a very handsome ring which once belonged to my mother. I hope to live to be a judge again.
Live to fight another day.
Don't you remember when he sat in that chair and said, "You'll never hang me, I'll come back. I'll kill you, Will Kane. I swear it, I'll kill you."
You are, ma'am. This will take you to St. Louis.
Great, the 3 troublemakers are here and she still chooses to take the train.
Hey, that wasn't here 5 years ago. So what? Nothing. Yet.
That wasn't here.
Look, this is just a dirty little village in the middle of nowhere. Nothing that happens here is really important. Now get out.
There isn't time. Good luck.
To fight or to retreat. Both are valid options.
Johnny, go find Joe Henderson, Mark Howe, and Sam Fuller and tell them I want them here.
Right. If you'd gone with a new marshal not due till tomorrow, I'd be in charge around here, right? If I'm good enough to hold down the job when there's trouble, how come the city fathers didn't trust me with it permanent?
Maybe they figured you were too young.
All you gotta do is tell the old boys when they come that I'm the new marshal.
Well, I can't do it.
Why not?
You don't know. It's no use me telling you.
You've been sore about me and Helen Ramirez right along, ain't you?
It so happens I didn't know, and it doesn't mean anything to me one way or the other.
You can't stand anybody taking your place there, can you? Especially me.
What, Helen is Will's ex?
You want me to stick? You put the word in for me like I said.
Sure, I want you to stick, but I'm not buying it. It's got to be up to you.
He quits. If 4 of them really go and hunt Will down, can't Will just legally kill all of them with his long-range rifle and self-defense?
Did you really think you could put that over on Kane? When are you going to grow up?
I'm getting tired of that kind of talk.
Then grow up?
You'd have had me make marshal to begin with. You just sore us all.
You told him?
Sure.
You are a fool. Get out, Harvey.
I might just do that.
Then do it.
You're gonna talk different when Frank Miller gets here. I won't be back.
Good.
Seems like Harvey overestimates himself.
I think I have to talk with Mr. Weaver.
You're getting out?
Yes.
You want me to give Kane a hand?
No.
All right.
Who is Helen? Does she own this entire establishment?
May I wait in the lobby until noon?
You're leaving on the noon train? I wouldn't leave this town at noon for all the tea in China. It's going to be quite a sight to see.
He's saying that to the wife of the person that might die in the ensuing chaos.
I just heard a blow, Herb. You can count on me. You know that, don't you? Enough you made it fit for women and kids to live in. How many men you got lined up?
None.
None yet. I'll be back in 10 minutes.
I'm leaving town. I want to sell the store. You want to buy me out?
Oh.
2,000.
I couldn't raise that much right now.
How much can you raise?
$1,000?
You can pay Sam the rest in 6 months. A deal?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, that's a very fast negotiation.
Amy, you've changed your mind.
I thought you'd changed yours.
I mean, it shouldn't be a problem for, Will to just send Amy somewhere safe first and then join her later. It's just that he's not confident of surviving.
Well, what do you want? You want me to help you? You want me to ask Frank to let you go? Well, I would not do it. I would not lift a finger for you.
I think you ought to get out of town. I might not be able to, well...
Nothing in life is free. I'm getting out.
That's good.
I'm guessing Helen was once with Frank Miller, and then she left him for Will Kane.
Un año sin ver.
Sí, lo sé.
If you're smart, you will get out too.
I can't.
Who is Miss Ramirez?
She used to be a friend of your husband's a while back. Before that, she was a friend of Frank Miller's.
You don't like my husband, do you?
And this place was always busy when Frank Miller was around. Plenty of people around here think he's got a comeuppance coming.
So he likes it when Frank Miller's around. Okay, now the judge stories is starting to make sense. Some people do like it when Frank Miller was in charge. So they'll welcome him back to the little town.
You're going after that.
I said I was going for liquor.
Keep away from Kane.
Sure, I can wait.
So that's what the Wild West is. You can go and just take a person's life to get revenge. They're not even afraid of, going back to prison after committing murder.
Where's the 10-star?
I turned it in a quit.
Smart move.
Oh, Ramirez Salon. Oh, she owns a salon too. Oh wait, so when she says she was selling the store, she means this one, not the hotel.
Been a long time, Ben. Yeah. Well, there'll be a hot time in the old town tonight, eh, Ben?
Now I get it. Everyone in the salon supports them, and they don't like Will Kane. No wonder they were so excited when they saw the three guys riding into the town.
I'll give you odds. Kane's dead 5 minutes after Frank gets off the train. You had no call to do that.
You're right. I need deputies. I'll take all I can get.
You must be crazy coming in here to raise a posse. Frank's got friends in this room. You ought to know that.
Including you.
You had 6 steady deputies to start off with. You ain't got but 2 now. That's why I'm here. How about it?
This room is just filled with smoke. Surprised they haven't suffocated to death yet. So even if this becomes a lawless place and Frank Miller takes over, it won't affect these people in the salon? Or will they get to have even more fun? Wait, now I'm reminded of the song that they sang, the Ballad of High Noon. It talked about wanting to shoot Frank Miller, so that's what the song is about.
No matter what he says, I'm not home.
He won't believe me. You know I'm lying.
You do like I tell you.
What was for? Is Sam in?
No, he's in church, Will. He's gone to church.
Thank you, Mrs. Fuller. Goodbye.
Well, nobody wants to send themselves to their death.
Kane, I want to be with you when that train comes in.
Can you handle the guns?
Sure I can. I used to be good. Please, Kane, let me get in on this.
All right, Jimmy. I'll call you if I need you.
Will Kane is a pretty tall guy, isn't he? Yeah, Gary Cooper is pretty tall.
You're leaving town. I'm not scared of Miller. I'll take him on any time.
I believe you.
And why are you going? It's Kane. It's Kane. I know it's Kane.
It isn't Kane. You're a good-looking boy, but he is a man. Kane will be a dead man in half an hour, and when he dies, this town dies too. So I'm going someplace else. That's all. I don't like anybody to put his hands on me unless I want him to.
Yeah, Helen knows how to stand her ground, and Harvey is he's kind of short-sighted and a bit egotistic. Well, he seriously came here to recruit.
You don't come to this church very often, Marshal. When you got married today, you didn't see fit to be married here.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Why weren't they married in a church?
And I didn't get married here today because my wife's a Quaker.
What? I thought Quaker was like a family clan name. What's a Quaker?
It looks like Frank Miller's coming back on the noon train.
I need all the special deputies I can get.
They're not allowed to kill though, right?
Let's go.
Ain't it true there's personal trouble between him and Miller?
There's a difference of opinion. Let everybody have a say. And let's get all the kids out of the building.
Okay, he's thoughtful. But be more far-sighted. Even if Frank Miller kills Kane and they don't help him, when Frank Miller takes over, their lives would be tougher. People can't even hang out and walk the streets at night for fear of getting robbed or hurt or harmed.
I say it don't really matter if there's anything personal between Miller and the marshal here.
And who saved him from hanging? The politicians up north. I say this is their mess. Let them take care of it.
It'll be too late by the time they come to take care of it.
We've been paying good money right along for a marshal and deputies. Well, what have we been paying for all this time? This ain't our job.
Sure, we paid this man, and he was the best marshal this town ever had. If we don't do what's right, we're going to have plenty more trouble.
That's right.
Why didn't you arrest the marshal? Then we'd only have Miller to worry about instead of the four of them.
I haven't anything to arrest them for.
He has to follow the law.
Don't you remember when a decent woman couldn't walk down the street in broad daylight?
The commandments say, thou shalt not kill. But we hire men to go out and do it for us. I'm sorry. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, he has to stand on the fence.
It's our problem because this is our town. There's going to be fighting when Kane and Miller meet.
More like shooting.
Somebody's going to get hurt.
By hurt, you mean killed.
He's a mighty brave man. He didn't have to come back here today.
Yeah, he didn't. He could have run.
I wish he hadn't. If he's not here when Miller comes, my hunch is there won't be any trouble. I think you better go while there's still time. It's better for you and it's better for us.
But if he had run, and even if Frank Miller doesn't cause trouble, wouldn't Frank Miller stay over and rule this town? But if they think in a way that Frank Miller would just, you know, pursue Will to the next town, then maybe he's right. Maybe this town will be safe. Hard to say what will happen since it hasn't happened yet. There's no saying who's right and who's wrong here. And it seems like the majority of people are against him.
You've been my friend all my life. You got me this job. I wanted to be like you, Mark.
Risk your skin catching killers, and the juries turn them loose so they can come back and shoot at you. In the end, you wind up dying all alone on some dirty street. People gotta talk themselves into law and order before they do anything about it. They just don't care.
It's normal for humans to be selfish by nature.
Get out, Will. Get out.
So long, Mark.
So long. It's all for nothing, Will.
Will is all alone.
Mrs. Ramirez, I'm Mrs. Kane. Will and I were married an hour ago. I've been trying to understand why he wouldn't go with me, and now all I can think of is that it's got to be because of you.
I don't think it's because of Helen, though.
He isn't staying for me. I have spoken to him for a year, until today.
Then what is it? Why is he staying?
If you don't know, I cannot explain it to you.
The same thing Will said to Harvey.
What kind of woman are you? Does the sound of guns frighten you that much?
My father and my brother were killed by guns. They were on the right side, but that didn't help them any when the shooting started.
Yeah, bullets don't discriminate.
I don't care who's right or who's wrong. There's got to be some better way for people to live.
I really gotta find out what Quaker means. First time I've heard of this term.
Bob, I always figured you for guts, but I never give you any credit for brains till now. It takes a smart man to know when to back away.
Kane's been out there the whole morning just looking for deputies. He's really trying his best. Well, then again, his life is on the line. Livery stable. Does that provide livers or something? Todd's livery, that's his full name? Or livery means somewhere to live?
Go on, saddle him up. That's what you were thinking, wasn't it?
Kinda.
You scared?
I guess so. Seems like all everybody and his brother wants is to get me out of town.
What's the matter with you? You were ready to do it yourself. You said so.
I can't do it.
Why?
Why is it so important to you? You don't care if I live or die.
Yeah, exactly. Harvey doesn't care about that. Wow. How is he gonna force him on a horse and make the horse drive away? The rider can't just be unconscious. At least I don't think so. Since Harvey is assaulting him, he can arrest Harvey. All this infighting even before Frank Miller arrives.
I hate this town. To be a Mexican woman in a town like this.
Oh, she's Mexican.
If Kane was my man, I'd get a gun. I'd fight.
Why don't you?
He is not my man. It's yours.
Yeah. Oh, he punched really hard. There's blood on his knuckles.
You got some clean water I can use?
Sure. Sit down.
Every time Gary Cooper stands next to a person, I'm reminded how tall he is. Oh,
What are you building?
Oh, just fixing things
they're
up.
building coffins.
Fran, hold it a while, will you?
Hold it.
You just stop till I tell you to start again.
Oh, no charge. You can tell your man he can go back to work now.
Oh, funeral service. Okay, now I see the poster there. He actually provides funeral services and is a barber at the same time.
Will,
I guess I forgot about you, Herb.
one of the other boys gonna get here? We gotta make plans.
the other boys?
No one else. 2 against 4.
You and me against Miller and all the rest of them.
Do you want out, Herb?
I didn't figure on anything like this, Will.
Neither did I.
This ain't like what you said it was going to be. This is just plain committing suicide. I got a wife and kids. What about my kids?
Go on home to your kids, Herb.
Yeah, to him it's no different from sending himself to his death. He is a good man too. He actually volunteered, but there's only so much you can ask a volunteer.
Listen, let me fight with you. I ain't afraid.
You're a kid. You're a baby. Get out of here. Come on.
Even with the help that the kid offers, he still couldn't get the kid to do it. He still can clearly distinguish right and wrong, even though he's desperate for people. Whoa, that's very cursive. Is he drafting his final will? Wait, didn't this one-eyed guy wanted to help him? Everyone's looking at the clock, waiting. Okay, now those three people are just standing very weirdly. So close to each other. High noon has arrived. Yep, he was writing his will.
Hey, Charlie. You can go home now.
Thanks, Marshal.
So long, Helen.
Goodbye, sir.
Take care.
The men could easily stop them both from getting on a train and then just, you know.
Hello, Frank. How are you, Frank?
Oh, so finally we see Frank Miller. Oh, Frank didn't care about Helen. All alone in the entire town. They probably used a crane for this shot, huh? It was a little bit shaky when it was going up. Well, now it's a showdown. 1 against 4. Well, if it was the Waco kid, he could have taken down all 4. 4 very quick shots.
Let you wait.
Just want to be ready.
Ready for what? Why'd he take that for? Okay, so it isn't gonna be like a one-on-one duel where they just stand in the middle of the road and then see who draws first. So it can be a sneak attack.
Miller!
He didn't need to call out the name. Amy still went down and went after her man. Wow, she ran all the way there. But, oh no, now they can use her as a hostage. Well, this proves that Amy still loves Will a lot. She left all her baggages on a train, and she came back for him, regardless of the danger. Oh, it grazed his shoulder. Oh! Okay, that's 2 down. 2 more to go. Obviously, Frank Miller will be the last opponent he has to face. Oh. That fire could end up spreading through the whole town. Why did Will only have his pistol with him? Didn't he have rifles and stuff? Oh. Oh, he got hit. Oh man, I think he ran out of bullets by now. Right, this gives him time to reload. Yeah, man, this guy, I think Ben Miller, is standing right next to the marshal's office. Like, Amy can easily just shoot him from the back of the head if she wanted to. Oh, she did shoot him! Even though Amy is supposedly against violence, for the sake of her husband, she did it. Oh, crap.
All right, Kane, come on out. I'll come out. Let her go. Come on, I'll hold my fire.
Yeah, who would believe that? Frank will shoot you the moment you walk through the door. Oh, that was pure luck. What? And he leaves immediately? Yep, that's the ballad. When Frank Miller's dead. Would have been nice to like clean up and take a bath, or just relax a bit after he just killed 4 people. But he leaves immediately with Amy. Then again, I guess he realized that he can't stay long in this town because nobody wants to help him. So he realizes since nobody cares for him in this town, then there's no point in staying in town. Throughout this whole movie, I have not seen or heard a single person mention sheriff. So there's no sheriff in this town. Okay, let's find out what's the difference between a sheriff and a marshal. Okay, here's one on Quora by Davidson, who is a former assistant chief deputy, a US marshal. So he should be able to give us some clearer explanation. Town marshals existed in towns where the law enforcement presence was needed, but the town has a very small population. Because the population of the town is too small, so they can't have a fully fledged police force there, so instead they have a town marshal. These town marshals were always an appointed official. They may have a small office and even a rudimentary jail, as we saw in the movie. So this type of jail is usually meant for holding a prisoner to sober up, which was also what happened in the movie. Charlie was sitting in that jail trying to sober up from his hangover. Basically, it's just a temporary jail. The town marshal's jurisdiction ended at the town limits. So larger towns would have a fully fledged police department instead. Sheriffs, on the other hand, are county officials elected by the citizens of the country. So the sheriff has a jurisdiction over the entire county, including all the towns and cities in that county. In that sense, it would mean that a sheriff is of a higher rank compared to a town marshal, because a town marshal may only handle maybe a certain town, but a sheriff handles the entire county. A police department has a jurisdiction within the city up to the point of the boundary of the city, but the sheriff's jurisdiction is much larger because it can cross local boundaries and just encompasses the entire county. US Marshals have a legal jurisdiction anywhere in the United States. Their powers are pretty much the same as a sheriff, only on a federal level. Okay, one other thing is the livery stable. Okay, so apparently a livery stable is just a stable where horses are kept or let out for hire. Okay, didn't know that. Okay, the next thing is the Quaker. What or who is a Quaker? Quakers seek to experience God directly within ourselves and in our relationships with others and the world around us. So it's more like a way of life rather than a set of beliefs. Members of these movements are generally united by a belief in each human's ability to experience the light within, or answering that of God in everyone. Okay. As for the movie itself, I think it really shows a lot of the different characters and how they view the situation. And from the beginning till the end of the movie, we see these different people with different thoughts and characteristics. So we start by Will Kane, the main character here. At the beginning, we saw that he had a choice to run away. He was already on the cart with Amy and they were already on their way out of the town. They were already escaping. But Will decided, no, this was not the right thing to do, and he wanted to go back to the town. So we can see from here that Will is someone who has his principles and he has his morals. He wants to go back to stop Frank Miller. He could have chosen to run away, but he chose to stay and face Frank. And the next character we meet, I think, should be the judge. He chose to run away. For the judge, he had his past experiences where running away helped him survive another day. So to him, he feels like, since this is my past experience and it has worked, then I will continue to do the same thing and I will choose to run away. And the judge runs away. After that, we see Harvey. Yeah, Harvey, the person who was with Helen Ramirez. Harvey, came to Will and he tried to take advantage of the situation and tell Will to try to push him up to become marshal. When Will refused, he quit. So Harvey is also driven by selfishness and ego. If he couldn't get what he wants, then he's not going to help Will. And the third guy was a good person. He actually came to volunteer to help, but only if Will was able to find all the deputies, enough deputies to form a posse and go against Frank Miller. When that didn't work out, of course, he left. That doesn't mean he's a bad person, though. I think that guy was good because he was the only person to volunteer himself to help. But the thing is, he felt that at the end it was like sending himself to his death, and he had to take care of his wife and kids. So because of that, he chose to back out. And then we also see the guy who told his wife to tell Will that he wasn't home, he was hiding in his house. And then the other person, I think his name was Marv or Mort, who was the previous marshal, I believe. And then Will went to look for him. But in the end, he just tells Will that there's no point in doing all this because you're just going to die alone in the middle of the road with no one missing you. So all these characters, really show how different people think when they're faced with this time of trouble. They don't help Will during his time of need. During the time when the town needed these people the most, when Will needed them the most, they forsake him. They let him fend for himself. Even though Will has served them for many, many years as their marshal and kept the town safe and peaceful, when Will needed them most, they didn't help him. And throughout this whole time, Will was also being conflicted because he's scared. He's definitely scared of death. But he keeps thinking about whether he should stay, whether he should go, should he just run away and escape, or should he stay and protect the town? Like, he's always remained conflicted throughout the whole movie, but he still decides to do what is considered the right thing at the end. Now, his wife, Amy, on the other hand, also, left him. But during the actual moment when things start to go down, she actually went to help him. And even though her beliefs is to not hurt others, to not be violent, or to not take others' life, she still killed, I think, Pierce. She still killed Pierce to protect Will. Now, Helen is a very direct, straightforward, assertive woman, and she does what she believes is right. And I feel like what Helen said to Amy when she told Amy that if Will was her man, she would take up a gun and help Will. So maybe what Helen said to Amy actually influenced Amy to ultimately decide to help Will and to take the gun and shoot Pierce. Overall, I think that this movie covers a lot of themes, and I probably haven't talked about all of them. But if you have any of your own thoughts about this movie, like how the characters acted or how the whole plot went down, you're welcome to share it in the comments. But I have to say though, the ending was a bit anticlimactic because, he just, after all four of the guys were killed, and then that's it. People just walked out and looked at the bodies and went, oh, and then Will left with Amy. So there was no hurrah or big celebration or whatever. And I feel like that is quite realistic. Because in reality, no one's gonna just go celebrate a dead body, right? So they kept it very realistic, and that's just how real life is. It is anticlimactic most of the time. That's it for High Noon. You're welcome to share your thoughts in the comments, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.